And now to just think that everything is being heard. Okay, Hashem help me to say the right word. So the paraduma, a dome is red. Red we know is a sign of din, of harsh justice. Red, red is like Edom is harsh. It's din, and it's para aduma tmima. What is tmima? Precious, perfect, simple, pure, complete. Like tamim tiem Hashem, we should be. Hashem wants us to be perfect and close to Him. Rashi says, don't think about the future. Don't read and wonder what's going to happen tomorrow. Another war, less war, this enemy. No, just He's giving us today. He's giving us today, and we should grab it and love it this moment and live it to its fullest. Tomorrow's in His hands. Today is what the gift of life.
We think we're talking about scarlet, about 20 different shades of red, about really, really true red quality scarlet. That's what we're talking about. I thought it was supposed to be healthy for the blood. Maybe for the blood. Even if you're wearing a different colour on top, you should wear a red vest. I never heard that, especially this year. Well, Rabbi Elegant told me that. Really? Because he told me that it keeps your health. Really? Because the colour does something to your blood.
Oh, interesting.
I think it's scarlet. Colours give an energy.
In everything there's two sides. But in the paraduma he was red and he was tamima. And when we look inside and we see inside of ourselves the Yetzer Hara, and all of us do, and I did that wrong, I said that wrong, I wasn't nice to her, I was mean, my chakras looked more like a speeding, like a train to get, and like, what, I got chakras this morning? I didn't. I did, like, when? I was just eating breakfast 10 minutes ago. Where did I fit it in? Like, that's my chakras, to thank Hashem and connect with Him. I'm sorry. And so when we see all that, we have a possibility of falling and a possibility of being down on ourselves and feeling like, oh my, I'm just a wreck. I'm just not good for anyone. I'm just going to go back to sleep. That's a dome.
It's female, isn't it? The cow.
The female. Thank you. I thought when I said him, didn't click over here.
That's what you'll know in red, I guess. Yeah, you need your red vest. But I haven't got one.
No, I don't want a red vest.
It's too hot.
What we want to look at inside of ourselves is to look at the good. Tamima is the beauty inside of each of us. Like Shlomo Melech, King Solomon says, Nava, Shchorani v'Nava, I am black with sin, v'Nava and white, the beauty that's deep inside of me. And what we learn about the paraduma, that Hashem told Moshe to bring to purify a person that was in contact with a dead body. And that's the Avi Avos of Tumah. That's the lowest, heaviest, deepest impurity a person can sink to. Meaning he's far from Hashem. He's in the depths of impurity. And how can he become purified? Through the paraduma, which is what? It's to look at the beauty inside of him, the good that's deep inside. Paraduma took water from a very, very deep place. This whole concoction was the dust of the paraduma added to the water. And the water was a deep, deep place. That's to give us encouragement that deep inside of me, there is good. Deep inside of me, there's pure, beautiful, sparkling water that wants only one thing, to hug Hashem and to thank Him and to come close to Him. And when we can catch on to that good point, even if it's small, even if 99.9 is black and 0.1, which is 1/10 of 1% is white, good, holy tmima, para tmima, that can change it and shift the whole tide. And that could wake me up to want to be better, to want to be even closer, to want to have a better day tomorrow, to jump out of bed and say, there's good inside of me. There's good inside of each of us. When we look at ourselves in the mirror and we trust and judge each other to the scale of merit, there's good. This person is good. If things look bad or mean or selfish or downright wrong, but no, that's just the shell. That's just momentary. the real me and the real each of us is good. And we learned this from the Paraduma, and it's a chukah. What is a hope? Something that we can't understand. The nations of the world come and say to us, why are you doing this? What sense does it make? Why are you sprinkling on somebody to make them pure? Like, what are you doing? It doesn't make sense. What makes sense to them? Can you give me an example of a mitzvah that does make sense to the non-believers or to the non-Jewish nations?
Giving money.
What?
Tzedakah.
Yeah. Charity is good. Tzedakah.
Don't kill.
Not kill. Yeah. Who in the world thinks killing is good? I mean, let's hope.
Yeah, but
not.
that's the Sheva mitzvah has been enough. So
Yeah.
those
Right.
things
Yeah.
are understandable, I think, for the, except some like maybe
Still-
they not tearing a limb from a living animal. They might not like what
Get it, like,
get
why
that
not?
part.
Or
So,
honor your father and mother. That everyone understands.
yeah,
Don't use
But we
that.
don't
Nothing.
do that. We don't honor our parents because it makes sense or because it's culturally fitting or proper. We do it because Hashem told us.
Right.
And we want to give him nachas. And so too with a hope, which doesn't have, we can't understand
right.
it. We do that because he told us to do it. He says, "Chok chakakti ve'en lecha rishus laharer." I made this up, and you don't have to like delve into it and think into it and try to figure it out. And what's the reason? No, just have that tamima, that perfect, pure faith, like a child, like the child that you were describing. That's all. You told me to do it, Hashem Aman. I'm doing it because everything you tell me, I want to be close to you. I want to listen to you. I have total faith in you. I want to, and so it just fits at the right place. And
Yeah.
we do it like childlike. The child doesn't ask questions. Child wakes
So
up.
I
and-
was listening to Rabbi Gordon yesterday, because he does Parsha every day,
Mhm.
and with the folk, we could come up with all kinds of reasons why we should like eat pigs because they're dirty and they carry diseases and they do. Besides trichinosis, I just got to think about tapeworms. They also carry tapeworms. I mean, they're really, really bad to eat. So you can come up with, and that's why it says in the Torah because of that. And that could be a side thing, but actually is nothing, that is not why we don't eat. We don't eat it because Hashem said so. And that's why we can't come up with reasons because then we could justify, because it's not up to our understanding.
And then if we have a reason for this and no reason for
Right.
that, okay, this I'll keep and that I
Right,
won't, because
so-
I don't
so we have
understand
to
it.
just
It
do
doesn't
it
make sense
like
to me,
logical,
Hashem.
yeah.
If we'd be the same mind as Hashem, we'd be him. He's above.
But we are in part in the image of God,
Yeah.
and we are his reflection on this material world. We are the highest of all the animals, and in an amazing ecology that God made all of us to share. So let's be it.
Adam,
You know?
we're God-like. We aspire to be godly, but we can't understand his understanding. So what do? Like a child, okay, I'm with you, mommy. I'm with you. And when we feel that child, like it's so calming. It's so like a massage. It feels so good. It's like it's not on my shoulders. I don't have to hold the world or even my own problems on my shoulders. It's on him. Like King David said, Hashtag al Hashem Yahab. Wrote Hashem all your problems. Who Yachakal? He'll take care of you. Take care of you. Of course, he wants us to wake up in the morning and live a normal, healthy life of doing, of acting, of working, of, if necessary, going to a doctor. He wants us to know, I'm taking care of you. Like Shana said, the doctor's a shliach, and the doctor is coming to heal us from Hashem, who's the Rofei Chinam. He's the true, real, best, free doctor with rachamim, with love. And so when we find that little bit of good in us, nobody can take it away. You ever come across a person that they're just looking like with a magnifying glass at your bad, you did this wrong, and look at your kitchen, look how sloppy, look at this, and how come you did? All they want to do is search for bad. That's the kind of person to stay away from. And what if it's me? I'm searching my own bad. I could be my worst enemy. And so I can't run away from myself. So I have to switch the channel and look for my good. Even if I need a real strong, powerful magnifying glass to find it, it's there. And once I find it, I can grow from that because that's the real me. And that's what it teaches us. The secret I'm reading here, Paraduma, is what's good in you. It's true you have that red harshness or that din, but you have a lot of purity, a lot of your tamima. And this Nakuda, this is your life. This is our chiyas. This gives us a reason to get up. This thought that yes, there is good inside of me, and yes, I can do it, and yes, I can live the life that Hashem wants me to do. He's very forgiving and very warm and very. It's not like you're the best or you're nothing. No, little is also good. Just hang on in there. We see that we want. You know how powerful and precious that is. Him just wanting, even if we don't make it, even if we don't accomplish it. And Shcharadik, King Solomon says, I am black and I am white. This is the idea of Yona Tama She'ein Bashumu Kihi Na'evi Yafed. This is a beautiful pigeon, a beautiful love bird that has nothing, no blemishes. That's who we are in our deepest place. And when we can judge ourselves and each other that way, then even Kimisha b'madrega tachtonik, we're in the lowest level, we're farthest from Hashem. That's where we definitely have to find that zechus, that good, that beauty, that merit inside of us. And from that we can come up, from that we can become better. And this is in our Parsha, it's right, the first pasuk says a lot of what we were just talking about. If somebody wants to read, it's number 1, chapter 19, pasuk 2. Anybody can share maybe?
Could we share? Because we don't have any. So we
Sure, now we're good. Kai, could you read number 1 in the Hebrew, the Zos?
Can you?
Yeah. זאת התורה שציווה השם לאמור. דבר אל בני ישראל ויקראו אליך פרה אדומה, תמימה אשר אין בה מום, אשר לא עלה עליה אור.
This is the ritual law that Hashem has commanded. Instruct the Jewish people to bring you a red cow without blemish, in which there's no defect and on which no yoke has been laid.
Wonderful. She'ein ba'mum. It's a tamima. Yeah. But how's it adom and tamima? This is the controversy that we work with everything in life. We try to find the middle path, the golden path. We try to take the bad, which is the left hand, and switch it into the right, the chesed, the right hand, which is overcomes because Hashem is rooting. He's on our side. He loves us. That's okay if you're lefty.
I'm not, my brother is.
Okay.
I actually know somebody else in kibbutz, and there's a girl from France, and her father told her she was probably evil about because she was left-handed. They literally put her off religion.
Oh,
it's just such nonsense.
Yes. Well, my husband was left-handed, and my sister is, and they were told to tie up their left hand and their right hand, and to use their left hand. They have to use their left hand. In school, because they belong to the dark side. That's right. Because the left side of the person is the bad side.
They do the opposite. They try to make the right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Otherwise,
they tie up the right hand.
They made people with left hand to use
the right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they found it difficult to write properly.
wow.
It caused such problems. The late queen, her father had a really bad stammer, and it was caused because his left hand and forced to use his brain.
That's right. They
Mixed
forced
his
them.
brain and his really bad stammer.
Wow. Yes.
So actually, it's a gift in disguise because then it does. If you're forced to do it, even and especially if it's a child.
Well, they hit them if they don't.
Oh, that's the evil. I mean,
That's in school when it's illegal.
well, I was in school when they did that.
Yeah, right.
They gave you a little snap.
With the ruler.
No, it
hurts.
Yes,
For sure. Stops them from using
but it was
their.
also more embarrassing.
Okay. But they should be taught to use their right hand only.
Yes,
Well, you know what? It's actually good for your brain.
It's serious.
It's good for your brain when you are right-handed or if you're left-handed to sometimes try and do things with the other hand, but voluntarily because it's actually good for your brain to do that way. But you shouldn't force them to be right-handed.
Yes.
absolutely wrong.
Not that
Because they want you to be successful in life.
My brother's left-handed, makes really stuff in life. There's a dine in London, dine dinner. 5 of his 7 children are left-handed.
Well,
There's a dine in London with 5 of his 7 children left-handed. It's run by Rabbi Falk, you might have heard of.
wow.
Yeah.
Can't be too bad then, huh?
Yeah.
We have good company. Not bad. So,
So
when
does
we
it
learn
make a
about
big
the para,
difference?
about the
That's
calf,
how you make.
we learn how to have amuna in Hashem. And like we were saying, we do the mitzvah because Hashem told us to, not because it makes sense or it's correct or, culturally correct. And amuna has different levels. Amuna, faith in Hashem, starts with to believe that there's Hashem in the world, that He created the world. That's the first level, and I think everybody believes that, right? I mean, the world didn't come from nothing. In fact, there was a person who didn't believe in Hashem at all, and he was atheist, and he came to Rabbi Akiva, and he said, "Who created the world?" So Rabbi Akiva answered, "Hashem created the world." And he answered him, "Show me, prove it to me. I want some proof that God, Hashem, created the world." And he asked Rabbi Akiva, asked him, he was wearing like a woven, like cloth, like clothing, cloth, like around him.
Like a jalapeno.
Exactly. And he said, who weaved it for you? So the atheist said, the weaver in town, the seamstress, the person who. And then he said, prove it to me that the weaver in town weaved what you're wearing, your jacket. And he was quiet. He didn't have a proof. And that's what Rabbi Akiva said to his students when he left. Just like the talus, what he was wearing shows that there's a weaver, and the door shows that there's a carpenter, right? It proves that there's a carpenter. We have a door made out of wood. And the house shows that there's a contractor and somebody that builds the home. So too, this whole world proves there's Hashem. Wherever we look, we see Hashem in the creation. And not only that, everywhere we look and everything we see or hear, I remember the Chafetz Chaim saying, "What is a Jew?" And he answered 5 words. So how can you get it down to 5 words what a Jew is? It could take volumes. What did he say? And I was floored by this. Jew is what he sees and what he hears. What do you mean, what I see and what I hear? And so I was thinking about it. If I see good things, like I see your beautiful, wonderful, holy faces, if I see the Torah and where the Torah scrolls, if I see a shul, a mezuzah, I see the sky of Eretz Yisrael, which is different than it's different than any sky in the whole world, even though it goes around, it's different when it gets here. If I hear Lashon Tov, not Lashon Hara, not bad words, mean words, atheistic words against God, against people. If I hear good words, if I hear words of love and kindness, and I see and I see the good of Eretz Yisrael, I see the good of each other, I see the good in me, and I hear good, that's who I become. That's who I become. A person who listens to not good music or not holy music or not, words that are, God forbid, swear words, they become that. They say, no, it's not going to happen to me. I'm above it. I'm not going to let it enter I'm not going to change. That's exactly how the sucking gets through the back door. Listen to it. It won't bother you. It won't hurt you. 5 minutes, just an interesting story. Oh, okay. No problem. It was interesting. I want to hear chapter 2 and chapter 3, and then I can't get my eyes off it, and then I can't get my mind to not think about it. So what we see and what we hear. So this is the first shlav in Amuna is that Hashem created the world. And the second is that this hashgacha pratis, everything he does in the world, everything I see and hear, you were saying, everything that happens to me is a hint, a remez, a loving remez, a loving hint from Hashem. My dear Dina, come close to me. My dear Dina, I'm here. This is for you. It's for you personally.
Hear that right now. Thank you. But he's actually choosing all of us at the same time simultaneously. That's
right. We're each his only daughter.
right.
Only daughter simultaneously, only one, not one of 5 or 500 or 5.
Right.
Only.
Well, he's busy running his billions of galaxies, and each one has billions of stars, and he knows the name of each star. He's so intimately involved in each one of our lives simultaneously. There's no words to describe how amazing.
That's another part of how they made the to purify somebody who was in the lowest place from the paraduma, they took something from a worm, like the colors of a worm, the dye of a worm. A worm is the lowest thing. A worm thinks, I'm not in the picture. I'm outside. Nobody looks at me. Nobody cares. Nobody notices me. Hashem, including
The birds do.
the birds do, and Hashem
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Hashem does. Hashem uses the worm for his holy Beis Hamikdash,
What
for the
color was the
Yeriot.
dye? No.
We
No,
might, but I
you-
don't. He takes the dye of the worm and uses it for the curtains of the holy temple. He says, worm, I care about you. Baal Shem Tov, remember the beautiful story? To see Hashem, he took them outside in the forest, probably they were always there, and it was a windy day, it was a sunny day and a windy day, and a wind brought a leaf and put it over the worm, so the worm could like get a little respite from the hot sun, and like a little air conditioning system for him, a little like, he could like catch his breath. Hashem cares about a worm. Hashem cares about me a lot more. Hashem saved those trees in the middle of the ride to Jerusalem. You see trees that everything is white from being in the sreifa, in the terrible flames that they had, terrible sreifot that they had. And then there's this patch of green that's alive, and that's trees and grass. Hashem takes care of his grass and trees. So I could take care of us, each of us, and each of us the only daughter. So remember, you heard this from Dova in the other room, but I heard it in Dova's house. And I haven't stopped thinking about it or repeating it since I heard it. We're going on 3 weeks. It's from Rabbi Weinberger from Eish Kodesh. If Hashem had a wallet, let's say Hashem has a wallet, like we have a wallet. Let's say Hashem has a wallet. And in Hashem's wallet, there would be one picture. It would be a picture of you. So like we're not a worm outside, cast outside. Even a worm he loves and uses. But how much more so his only daughter? He has a picture of me in his wallet. Imagine.
That's very
Imagine.
precious.
Of you, of each of us. So that's Amunah, to see the hashgacha pratis and everything that happens to me my whole life. The Remez, where he says, you missed the bus. Sit down and talk to me for a couple of minutes. Let's get to know each other. Let's have coffee together at the bus stop. How are you? What's your name? He just wants that connection with us.
He knows my name.
Yeah, he knows your name very, very well. Very well. And he wants us to communicate, to be close with him.
There's a book called Chicken Soup with Laboratory Henry Muckles,
yeah.
and it's beautiful. So that's his body. What if my body is?
Yeah, where she spoke to
speaks
Hashem.
Hashem, not confront to Philip and Siddur, but just chat with Hashem and
That's what Hashem wants.
gratitude.
He
and
wants
massive
that
rest.
closeness. Tell me what's on your mind. You had a hard day? Talk about it. I'm here for you. You were disappointed. You were sad. You were happy.
Amunah.
Something good happened. I want to hear about it. Include me.
The moon of love and chicken soup.
You're what?
Wait,
You're
can
yeah.
I fetch too? Can I
Yeah,
complain?
but he wants to hear your
Even
fetching.
though I know he's running the world and he's doing this, whatever's going on out of love for me, can I
Yes.
just complain a little bit?
He doesn't
Let's
like
hear
it.
about it.
Yeah, it's a really hard test for me right now, you know it.
Yeah.
All right.
Getting it out. You just getting it out.
Right.
Getting it out. It's halfway out. It's not on my shoulders now.
Yeah,
Hashem
exactly.
took my problem. He took my sadness, my heaviness, my
Right.
test, and he said, I got it. Now enjoy your day. Now go on and you could live. We're together on this. Come back to me if you have another problem, or come back to thank me for something good. I want to be part of your life. He loves to be one-on-one, very close, intimately close to each of us. And when we have that relationship, it's like a different world, because I'm not alone. And because whatever happens, I have someone to share it with that cares.
He
that
doesn't
loves
wanna
me.
hear thank you. It's like yesterday, the bus that I needed, I had no idea when a bus was gonna come. And then exactly the bus that I needed came like within a couple of minutes.
Wow.
And only today I'm like, oh yeah, thank you, Hashem. You sent that bus. Like I didn't have to wait out in the sun. Like, thank you. You know, just-
Everything. I do that with parking spots.
yeah.
Please, Hashem, let me have parking spots.
The problem is many of us stay, when the car goes right out, and even though there's 5 behind us waiting to park, the parking spot right in front of us, and there's nobody between us and it,
Right.
zoom right in. It's okay, Hashem, I managed alone. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't need your help. I'm okay.
No, that's a
No,
joke.
that's a joke.
No,
It's
no,
not us.
that's-
It's not us.
Not right. Yeah.
So Shem made him go out
Yeah.
when we were the front,
Exactly.
and there were 5 behind us and 5 ahead, and we were
Right.
right there to zoom right in.
And
Yeah.
when we
Yeah.
have to write them, we can say, thank you, Hashem. Thank
Yeah.
you, Hashem. You know, like, I had to park out here. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, I have feet to walk,
yeah.
and thank you for my connection with you, because that's an answer right there.
Yeah.
That feeling of oneness with
Constantly,
Hashem.
being constantly being
And everything, parking, the bus, the job, the not job, moving, not moving.
the tarantula that I found in my house last week.
The what?
All right, I'm talking on the phone with Judy, I'm like, there's a spider, I've gotta catch it.
Yeah.
Was it good?
I put something
Oh,
over it,
that's
because I
it.
wanted to catch it, take it outside.
Did it
But I
catch it?
didn't want to catch it, I didn't want to take it then, I wanted to fit my conversation. I found something to just put over it, and then I put like a light shoe so it wouldn't get out. But you know, it was creepy, like, how long was that in my room? You know?
Out like a shock. Oh, scary.
I know, but
Exact time, so that. you could
exactly,
have
that I
a
saw
idea.
it at the right moment,
Right.
and then I took them across the street.
I want to tell you,
What did you put up?
now I can carry.
Yeah,
this.
so first it was like, all I had was like a raised paper plate, and
Right.
then I got a cup afterwards,
Yeah,
and I
right.
put a firm piece of paper.
Yeah.
You just squash it.
No.
Spiders.
Spiders.
Popping up, it's the same thing.
I wanted to, but then I thought, no, my
Mine's not
husband
but then it's kill anything, but I used to kill everything.
Yeah.
Elisha,
my life is in danger.
right.
Right.
Other than that, Elishama has,
Elishama?
With everything else.
I was just gonna say that I can carry things again, but I get a little carried away sometimes, the McCullough. So the first time I had 2 heavy things, Kyalessa stopped by to get an ice cream. She said, wait a minute, I'll help you. And then the second time, I was at the end of my street and Kyalessa was on her way to get an ice cream. And she said, oh, let me help you take this to your house and then I'll go get the ice cream. It's like, oh, thank you, Hashem, because I wasn't being
And thank you,
smart.
Kaya.
I was taking too much.
But it's from the Shulchan, right?
Yeah.
Every time, you know?
yeah, I was carrying heavy things home. I said, Hashem, could you please send me someone to help me up the stairs with it? So I heard someone coming down the stairs. And I said, okay, I'm going to ask them. If it's a man, I'll ask him. And a woman, I'm not going to bother her. But it was a woman. So I said, no, maybe she's hard for her also. She says to me, can I take everything for you? Can I take? I said, well, it's heavy. Can I help you? I want to help you. I said, okay. And I told her I wasn't going to. I asked Hashem for a man, but you came. So you're my malach. Thank you. And when we eyes are open and our heart is open, it's 24/7.
Yes.
And there's no sweeter life. And there's nothing more meaningful and engaging and inspiring and happy and just like exhilarating. And I was at Bella's on Friday morning. I missed you. I don't know if you were there, but it was early enough. It was still cool. And I wanted a quiet place to read this. But the quiet place were in the sun. And so I chose shade over quiet. And they had like a group of tourists there and a woman was talking.
Right.
And she was so funny though. I got engaged in listening to her. I was laughing with them. She's a great tourist guide. She goes to all over the people like the shoemakers and all stores to meet the store owners in Tzfat to get a feel of us, of what Tzfat is. Not just, get into your bus and go. And then she says, and we're even going to go to Mendy's and we're going to see, because Ashkenazim have a lot to contribute. They're Sephardim. It's a food store, but they're Sephardim. And she was laughing. We'll go give Ashkenazim our attention a little bit. And I started laughing. And then I said to them, can I interrupt a minute? And they're looking at me like, is she going to complain too loud or not dressed properly? I don't know. What is she going to? I said, I want to thank you so much. I've been living here 30 years and it's like I moved today. It's a new spot. You make it with such a great, and she was very happy. And then they made a l'chaim. She brought arak and she made a l'chaim. I think I've had it once in my life. And so I picked up my cup of coffee to say l'chaim with them. 20 women. She said, l'chaim with coffee? No. And she brought me over a rock to drink. And I felt so like, why am I even repeating it? I felt so close to Hashem that we're all one. And that we all, I thought he was having nachas from his daughters, loving each other and being close to each other, and being happy with each other. And then all of a sudden I was reading a magazine and I brought it with to read at Mendy's, like a big girl. I sit and I read something and I write notes, not Mendy's, Bella's. I got food on the break. You want some kishka? All of a sudden, I'm reading about the paraduma. I said, "What's this doing here?" I'm reading about paraduma, and it's Friday before Monday. I said, "Thank you, Hashem, for bringing me this magazine. Not even this month. There's nothing anyway." And it was saying that when we judge each other, we find good in each other. That's the paraduma. We're bringing ourselves up to the highest place, the closest place. And she gives some examples. And she said, even if you don't feel like doing it, like seeing the good in each other, in somebody else, seeing the positive, put on your sportivi. Start to act sportivi. When we're in a sport kind of mood, we're going to keep another round. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to push ourselves. It's cute how she said it. Just be that sportivi person where you're going to push yourself. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I came here thinking this was going to be my gift for finishing Shabbos early, and I'll spend an hour and a half at Bella's, but I hadn't done Shabbos yet. I did a little. And then we heard Thursday night, my daughter, husband, 4 children, I had a lot more to do, a lot more, put up 2 cholents, put up the salmon. So I said to myself, I started writing down, I have my list of what to do. I said, salmon, I have to buy the salmon, I have to pay for it, bring it home, take off the skin. It has to be a perfect timing. If it's too hard, you can't get off the knife. If it's too soft, half of the salmon comes with perfect timing, like everything in life.
Fondness.
Exactly. Yeah. And everything like that, like the paraduma. It's red, but it's perfect. It's sweet. We always want to find that perfect place and timing. And then I bring it home and I make the rota for it and I put it on top and I fry it or bake it or whatever. And then take it out. It's not too dry because then it's boring. It's not too raw because then it's raw. And then I put it on the plata, on the blech. Not too, sometimes I make it higher, so it shouldn't get dried out. And then I serve it, put it in a platter and serve it. And then I take the platter and wash the dishes. And then I put all this is salmon. I'm not going through these boring details. It's not boring details to bore you. It's how much we do. I made salmon today. I could cut it into like 50 steps or break it up, cut it, or I could say, thank you. I said, Moidani, how many words? I made salmon. I'm getting ready for Shabbos. I went to the store and bought this for Shabbos. It's like, hooray, and my day is full. And when I think of that, I want to get tomorrow morning. I want to appreciate today. And we learned this about Tammuz, which is also just amazing because Hashem says to us, like he brought down in Shir Shir, Tamasa Yonasa, you're my perfect blend of tastes, perfect blend of intention. She says, I enjoy so much your salmon or your bracha or your chakras because it came from your love. It came from your guests will enjoy it also. I'm enjoying it. The Shekhinah is at our table, especially chakras all week. Hashem is enjoying making the salmon, carrying home the packages, finding a neighbor, thanking them for being a shliach from Hashem. He's enjoying our life. He wants us to enjoy it also, the good and the pure and the good intentions that we have. And on Thursday, I was at an amazing hallel. It was Rosh Chodesh. It was down in near Neta Chisachon. Totally recommended. I said to myself, Missionary, you have to go every month for Rosh Chodesh. You have to go. It was an hour and 20 minutes singing hallel, singing, dancing. Rabbi Bizak spoke. Bazak and Chagit Shira, they spoke so beautifully about Tammuz that, like Sheda said, Tammuz is the sight to see. We can see with our eyes and we can see with our heart. And she said something very beautifully that we learned from the Megillah of Esther. She said that every month of the 12 months of the Jewish holiday, the Jewish calendar, is another name of Hashem, Yud K Vav K, in a different order, in a different, like, mixed up order, how to spell it. And Thomas is the opposite. It's backwards. K, K, Vav, K. Yud K. It's the opposite. Instead of this way, it's that way, because it's a time of Hashem is closed. Hashem is hidden from us. And our job is to find him in the hiddenness, to find the light in the darkness. Because he's really there wanting us to connect him, wanting us to reveal him in the darkness. And we learn from Haman that he's hidden, and we learn from Esther that he's revealed. And when Esther says, she writes it out the regular way that Hashem is written, Yud Kei Vav Kei, Yavo HaMelech VeHaman Hayom, to my party. And that's spelling it out the exact order. And what we learn from her is Hayom. Hayom, all we have to think about is today. We don't have to worry about tomorrow. If we live today and we live it to its fullest, and we see Hashem's love and his hashgacha pratis for me. Remember, I'm the picture in his wallet. We see it for me, and each of us puts in your for me and your name. That today is a day that I give him my whole, and that I live my fullest, and that I can bring Mashiach today. And so that's what we learned from when she said Hayom. And also, thank you. How come she invited Haman a second time to a second party in her house? Once wasn't enough. Haman, the enemy of the Jewish people, the total
painful those people on the outside was.
Yeah, she's siding up with Haman.
Right.
And why invite him a second day? Once wasn't enough. Who wants him in my house again? The first day he was in a good mood. He was on top of the world. The second day, he had the garbage thrown on him, and he was told, you're never going to win over the Jewish people. He was down in the dumps. The first day, she could not overcome and win over him because he was happy. Second day, when he was in a bad mood, she got him. And so we think if that's what Hashem, if that's what joy for Haman Harasha can do, what could it do for us? When we're happy, Hashem, we're powerful. We can, do everything. And Rifki Khan, a good friend, said last night that a man was like singing and happy in the streets on a regular, like Wednesday, 2:00. And they asked him, what are you happy about? He said, well, we have Tisha B'Av because we cried for nothing. And now we're crying through the generations. Both holy temples were destroyed on Tisha B'Av. I want to be happy for nothing. Because if we cried for nothing, look what happens. If we're happy for nothing, it's not for nothing. We always have many reasons to be happy. But if I'm just happy, stop for nothing, I'm singing and I'm laughing and happy. Look what we're going to get. We're going to get Mashiach in a minute, like now, through the happiness. Keep a simcha. So let us enjoy today. Let us be happy. Let us rely on Hashem like the baby relies on his mother. And know that it's all for you. It's all for you. It's all with love. It's all with love. Hashem, we should feel it, each of us. And how does this rabbi finish his Gemara? Have a fantastic day. He always says it at the end. Have a beautiful day. And for Hashem, we're together again. Maybe he got it from him.
He said something like that.
Right. Bye, Mitch. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Bye. Miriam. Hi, Miriam. Are you there? I asked you some questions. Did you see them?
Just now? No,
Yeah,
did you chat?
Yeah.
Do we have chat? Running business. Oh yeah, checked in. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I also had a funny story about Megillah the gorilla. Anyway.
Megillah? Oh, let's hear it.
Oh, Megillah. You know Megillah of Esther? Well, Megillah the gorilla, was named after the scroll because it's long, and Megillah was always returned to the pet shop, and it was kind of a play on words. But
cute! I never heard that. That's very cute.
Very funny.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I'm sorry. The questions now. I'm sorry. I can't really Maybe Chaya could help you with it.
Or maybe if you could, I'm wondering if we can
Thank you.
email them or something like that.
Yeah, it's okay. I can ask. I just wondered about the because someone mentioned pigs, and I thought I heard it was because they're deceptive, because they have the cloven hoof, but they also chew their cud, so they're deceptive animals. I heard that. Anyway.
Yeah, because I don't think the chat works so nicely on the Zoom thing. So maybe if you want to email to Judy or something, and then we can answer the questions.
Well, have a beautiful week, okay?
Thank you. You too. Thank you. Okay.
Great.
Thanks. God bless.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, we recorded all this.